Oh, hi. No, you're not dropping by at a bad time. I'm loading my van for a show, but it's later this afternoon. We've got plenty of time to talk. My name is Ross McRae. I'm a full-time magician, clown, and family entertainer. It's been my full-time job for 25 years, and I love it. But it does have its challenges and its irritations. And the biggest one, well, one of the biggest ones, is this. It's Saturday afternoon, and as you can see, I'm not exactly doing a magic show. I don't expect to work every day, but every now and then, an empty week comes along, and I don't know why. The phone hasn't rung for a week, except for a couple of callers who want me to go someplace I don't go, or dress up like Barney or something. It's enough to make me start wondering, is something wrong with my advertising program? I need to get back in touch with my advertising plan. I started with a plan and I've let it go unexamined for far too long. Advertising is the biggest single expense you have in this business. Every dollar needs to return its full value. I know I'm getting some jobs for the money I spend on advertising, but am I spending it in the most effective way, or am I just throwing money at the problem and hoping some of it sticks? Every dollar you save is a dollar you don't have to earn. Does your advertising present the best image you can present? Does it get you the best customers you can get? Do your various advertising efforts support each other, or is each of them on its own? Every now and then, it's time to actually sit down, look at your whole advertising program, do the math, and tune it up. So let's pretend we met one afternoon. You were nice enough to bring the beer. We've got almost 2 hours to spend, and at the end, I hope you'll be able to say all of the information I need to get more performances and maximize the impact of my advertising dollars is right here. The ideas in this video work for me, and I'm convinced that these strategies will help you stand out from the average performer. And you won't be at home on a Saturday afternoon picking up trash in your backyard when you could be out doing the job you love and earning money. So, get a notebook and a pen, and don't stop with a single viewing. Write down the things you want to remember first, and then watch this video again from time to time, because different ideas will become more meaningful to you with subsequent viewings. At the end of the video, I'll give you an internet link to access the text files I refer to, sources of equipment and supplies, and paths for further learning. We're going to have to spend a few minutes on the most basic facts of advertising. And I'm opening this video with this assumption. You want more customers to call you, and you want more customers to choose you rather than one of your competitors. In fact, you want them to choose you when they might just choose nobody at all. And you've decided that you're ready to advertise. Or you've been advertising your services here and there, and you've decided you need to focus those efforts and stop wasting money. With that in mind, I'm going to tell you right now which methods work best, and the rest of this long discussion is just commentary. A good business card, the yellow pages, and an internet website. Those are your most effective advertising and promotion tools, in my opinion. Let's look at the reasons I came to that conclusion. To begin with, advertising is your business's biggest expense. You want to minimize that. There's no need to waste your money, but you also don't want to cut back so far that you don't get any work. With your advertising money, effectively, you're buying customers, and you don't want to pay for more customers than you can handle, and you don't want to pay so much for each one that you essentially are working just to pay for your ads. So in making your decision about spending your advertising dollars, you need to ask, is the advertising actually reaching the potential customer? Is it cost effective? In other words, does the cost per customer justify the expense? Does it present a professional image? Is the advertising part of an overall plan, or is it just a whim? Is the advertising offered by a reputable company? If I could make every citizen of my service area watch a presentation about how much fun a magic show is, I could create a market. But that would be much too expensive. Instead, I need to make sure that my advertising is where people look when they're ready to buy. And I need to make sure that when they look there, I'm the first guy they call from among all those choices, or at least that they're sure to include me in their list of the people they call. I'm paying for every person the advertising reaches. So, is my advertising focused on reaching the customer who's ready to buy, or is it a broad general appeal to the public at large? This one is a no-brainer. If it costs me $100 in advertising to get a $100 job, I don't even need to finish that thought, do I? But what is the acceptable cost per customer? $1? I'd go for that. $25? Maybe so. But there's no way to know until I actually do the math. What does it cost you to do a show? Add up all the expenses. You've probably done most of the work as you've done your income tax. To simplify, add up all the costs, mileage, supplies, all the business expenses listed on your Schedule C. Make sure you include everything. Your most recent tax program can give you some ideas for expenses you might not have thought to include. And how many jobs have you done for that total expense? Divide. That's the high number in the range of your current cost per customer. Now, tweak the figures. Subtract indirect expenses, things you would have bought anyway even if you weren't in business. That's the low number. Then take your advertising expense by itself. Do the division. Those three figures should be very educational, and the one most applicable to our topic today is the last. What is your advertising cost per customer? Is it outrageously high or pleasantly low? Does it get you all of the work you want? Are you paying for callers you turn away because you can't handle them all? Does your advertising project a professional image of you? If not, it isn't getting you customers who are prepared to pay a professional fee. If someone actually books a show from some Xerox sheet you hung on a grocery store bulletin board or from an ad in the local penny saver, is that likely to be someone willing to pay a decent dollar, or is it someone who's looking for and perfectly glad to take the cheapest thing they can get? Doing a job for a cheap client takes as much time and expense as doing a job for someone better able to pay. Which one do you want to attract? Do you have a plan? Or are you just throwing money at the problem and hoping some of it brings a return? Has your plan been revised recently, or are you still just doing what you've always done? They say that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Are you up on the latest schemes to separate you from your money? The scammers are out there, from phony yellow page bills to expensive internet advertising programs designed to get the money of those who aren't internet savvy. The bad guys are out there, and humbling as the thought may be, they're smarter than you and me. A discerning eye can usually spot the telltale signs, but you can never relax your vigilance. You could wind up spending lots of money and putting a lot of hope into an advertising medium that never returns even a small part of your investments. Now, let's begin by looking at the media that a lot of the magic books suggest. Here's an excerpt from my birthday party business video. How are you going to get people to call you? The kid show books tell you to pin notices to bulletin boards at the grocery stores, or to put ads in the local penny saver flyer, or to put stickers or labels on your balloon animals, or to send each kid home with a business card. Ooh, parents hate that. Or to see that everybody gets a how to do magic tricks handout with your name on it, and that one works a little. We're going to look at the subject from the ground up. For each one of these three advertising media, we'll first cover the basic facts, and I know most of you are already thoroughly familiar with all of this, but covering it again will put us both on the same page of the same map. How do these advertising media really work? How do you get the most out of them? What are the secret tricks and what are the hazards? How do you plan to do it right the first time, and how can you avoid looking like an idiot because you overlooked some very important factor that nobody clued you into? You are about to raise your image head and shoulders above the rest of the performers in your area, and it's gonna be fun.